pretty big claim right now and say that ideal customer work can make or break the success of your business. Yeah, I know, I said it. And there are a lot of different reasons for that. I'm going to cover those in today's video. And I'm also going to share with you how to conduct better market research. We no longer need to get on the phone with individual people every 90 days. We don't always have the time and the capacity for that. Now, I'm not saying that that's not a good strategy, but there are other more effective ways to do ideal customer research that are actually going to help you in the long run with your marketing. Hey there, and welcome back to the Brandmerry channel. I am Michelle Knight, founder and CEO of Brandmerry.com, and today I want to talk to you about ideal customer research. There are two things that we do really well over here at Brandmerry, and that is helping you build a personal brand around you and your story, and teaching you how to market very effectively to have incoming leads for brand awareness and ultimately converting them to paying clients. More income, more impact. That is our goal. And both of those categories rely on ideal customer research. So I know you've heard about it. I know you've heard about an ideal customer avatar. You might even be at a place where you're like, I'm so sick of this work. All right, I get it. And I hope that at the end of this video, you're feeling revamped, re-energized, and you have a new strategy to get the feedback and the information that you need to totally elevate your branding and your marketing. So why is ideal customer work so important? Well, at the end of the day, you have a business. You're selling to someone, and that someone, you better know who the heck they are or they're not gonna buy from you. That's why it's so important. And as I've mentioned, ideal customer work plays a role in both branding and marketing. So from a branding side, we really wanna focus on ideal customer work to really understand who your customer is at their core. So understanding what their big problems are, their struggles, their goals, their aspirations. You can even use ideal customer work to find out what social media platforms they're hanging out on, where they get most of their information, other people that they look to for advice in your industry. So the branding work on ideal customer work can help you set a very strong foundation for your brand and your business moving forward. Once you know who your ideal customer is, it's much easier to craft your offer to serve them at the highest level. You can craft better messaging, which is going to play a role in your website copy and your marketing. You're also able to better understand emotional branding, which I talk about in this video right here, where I share a little bit more on how we make our audience feel and the connection that we create. And then in addition to that, one of the things that plays a huge role in branding is the art of storytelling. And in order to tell great stories as a business owner, you've got to know who you're telling those stories to. It's not enough to just share stories to share stories. We want to share stories that are going to motivate our audience to take action, AKA buy our product or our service. So from a branding perspective, ideal customer research is so important because it's going to set the foundation for everything that you're going to create in your business. From a marketing perspective, it's all about content. When you're thinking of content, you want to make sure that you're thinking of content that not only attracts new people to your community, but also moves them through the client buying journey. I talk about that entire journey, that entire process in this video right here. We've also linked that below for you. And it's really important that you understand that your content is there to not only let people know who you are, build that brand awareness, pull them in and attract them, but ultimately connect with them, leading to the sale. So you see why it's so important to understand who you're talking to and ultimately who your business is for. And so I want to share with you some updated strategies for doing your ideal customer work. But before I do that, let's talk about some of the key elements that you need to understand about your ideal customer. So number one, I recommend that you start broad and then narrow it down a bit. So this is all about the demographic. These are the things that you know about the person that you ultimately want to work with or who your product and service is ultimately for. Depending on where you're at in your business, you might have more information about this individual, or you might have nothing. And so it's nice to start to pick away individual people, if you will, and narrow it down by focusing on things like the demographics. So what do we know about this person? Is this person just graduating from college? Is this person a working mother? Who is this person? And I'm not recommending that you have to focus on men or women or mothers or not mothers, but those are some of the things to start considering. What do you know about the individual that you want to work with? The offer that you're ultimately creating, who is it really designed for? That's going to help you narrow it down from everyone, which is not an ideal customer, to getting a little bit more specific. Then the next thing you want to do is answer a few top questions. Number one is, what is the problem they are facing? Now, every single business has to solve a problem. This is actually part of the niching down process. If you don't solve a problem, you're going to have a really hard time selling anything. And just so we're clear, every product, every service can solve a problem. It's your job to figure out what that problem is and narrow it down really specific to your ideal customer. So let's say that my target market is new moms, and I sell a program that teaches you how to tidy up your house, right, as a new mom in very, very little time. The problem is that new moms don't have a lot of time in their schedule. They're tired of a messy house. It's overwhelming. It's weighing on their shoulders, not speaking from experience at all. And they want to understand better strategies to keep it maintained, if you will, keep their sanity. So the problem is that they want to be able to tidy up their home in a limited amount of time, and they don't understand exactly how to do that, okay? So no matter what you sell, I always use the analogy of eggs. If I'm making eggs in the morning and my eggs are sticking to my pan, my problem is I've got a pan that everything's sticking to. I need a new pan, so I go out and buy it. Every single thing comes down to a problem. What is the problem that your ideal customer is facing? Number two is elaborate a little bit more on that problem. So what are their struggles with that problem? How are they feeling about that problem? Ultimately, where are they now? This is incredibly helpful with marketing because it allows you to connect with your ideal customer and allows them to feel seen, heard, and understood. The third thing you want to start to identify is, where do they want to be? So they've got these current struggles, they've got these pain points, they have this problem, and what do they ultimately want? If they resolve this problem, what does life look like for them? Do they suddenly get to make their eggs in 10 seconds and stop cussing every morning at their pan that keeps sticking? All right, again, not speaking from experience over here. So understanding what is the core problem, where are they now, and what are those pain points and struggles, how would they describe that to you, and where they ultimately want to be. Now, the next thing you want to identify is, what are some of the obstacles standing in their way? So why haven't they solved the problem yet? Why haven't they done it? Why haven't they gone out and bought that pan yet? What are some of the things that they're specifically looking for that they haven't found? Another thing that you can start to explore are the objections. So I find that these are incredibly helpful for service-based entrepreneurs. But if someone hasn't solved their problem just yet, they probably have some obstacles standing in their way. But what are some objections? What are some mindset pieces that they have? Maybe they think they don't have enough time to do the work. Maybe they think that they don't have the energy or the capacity to take on something else. What are those objections? These are incredibly helpful when it comes to selling your product or your service. If you can understand these obstacles and these objections your ideal customer is going through, then you can use that in your marketing. And the final piece is, if they've done anything, if they've done the work, or they've bought a different frying pan or whatever it is, why haven't they solved their problem just yet? What more are they looking for? So these are just some questions that you can start to organize the research that I'm about to give you my favorite tools for into these little categories. This is going to help you with your branding and your marketing overall. So let's now talk about, I know, sorry, I made you wait, but now let's talk about some of my favorite ways to do market research. Number one is a free tool that not enough people know about that is incredibly powerful. When you think about your own life and your own customer journey with different products and services, where do you turn when you need something? Google. We all go to Google. It is a database of information. And the free tool that we love to use is called Answer the Public. What Answer the Public does is it takes the information from Google and it categorizes it into questions, into subcategories. So you can go on to Answer the Public, you can type in an ideal customer that you know, you can type in a core problem, you can type in your industry. So you can start as broad as you want. And then it will divide it up into a bunch of different webs. Let's say I type in brand photography. I am a photographer and I want to sell brand photography, and I want to better understand my ideal customer and what they're looking for when it comes to brand photography. So I can type in brand photography, and then it's going to show me all of the top questions and searches related to brand photography. With each of those, you can actually click and it'll open up another tab and show you the Google searches. It'll show you the most popular blog posts, the most popular websites, and you can start to do a little bit of research. So you can get as granular with it as you want, but what this is really offering you is information on what your audience is asking. So this can go back to, what are they struggling with? How are they phrasing their problem? What outcomes do they ultimately want? Answer the Public is an incredible, helpful tool, and it's free with a few searches every single month, so you can definitely use it to your advantage. The next option is one of my favorites, maybe yours because you're watching this video right now, and it's YouTube. So YouTube, again, is a search engine platform, meaning that people are turning to the platform to look for solutions to their problems. And you can use YouTube's basic function by typing in brand photography, we'll just run with this topic, brand photography, and see what YouTube is suggesting auto-populates. So this can be incredibly helpful for finding some of the top searches within your industry. Further than that, you can start to explore some of the top videos and look at the comment section. See what people are asking. And if it's a really popular video and you're seeing that it has tons and tons of views, that's probably a top struggle that your ideal customer is dealing with. So not only looking at the topic for the video that has a bunch of views and saying, wow, okay, this must be something that my ideal customer is struggling with if everyone's watching this, but also exploring the comment section. Incredibly valuable for grabbing specific language that your audience is using. To piggyback off of YouTube, another search engine platform that we like, coming in at number 3, is Pinterest. Oh, I just love Pinterest so much. As a marketer, it's a freaking gold mine. So Pinterest uses a very, very similar feature because it's a search engine where it will auto-populate with the most popular searches. So if you're, again, going in for brand photography, you type brand photography in the search bar, Pinterest will help you out and tell you the top searches for brand photography. It'll just kind of fill in those keywords. Again, another incredibly helpful way for you to start to get content ideas and information from your audience. The next one uses another popular platform that we're all familiar with, and that is Amazon. Look, no matter how you feel about Amazon, it is where people are buying their books, okay? And so one of the things that I started doing really early on in my business was starting to explore book reviews. So finding books that were related to my industry. Now, I totally understand this might not work for everyone. With all of these, take the ones that will best serve you in your industry and run with them. You don't have to use all of them, but this is a really helpful one, especially if your industry typically has very specific topics in books related to what it is that you do. So let's say I am focused on marketing. I can go to Amazon, I can type in marketing, and I can choose the book option from the drop-down. This is going to show me all the top marketing books. I'm going to look for the ones that have the most reviews because that's where the information lies. I can then go to that book, I can read a little bit about it, what was the general, idea of the book, scroll down and start reading the reviews. Now, the positive reviews are nice, but what you really want to focus on are the negative reviews. What did people say? Did they say it was too simple? Did they say that it didn't answer this question? Did they not like it because of X, Y, and Z? This is going to give you more information about what your audience is looking for and a possible gap that you can fill in your content creation. Okay, I've got 3 more. I told you I had a lot of information for you in this video. I've got 3 more options for you. The next one is all about community forums. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't use this one very often, but I've had a lot of clients who find success and use them for themselves as well. So it's just like a natural extension of their day-to-day. The community forums, think of Reddit is a great example of this, where you can go type in a specific topic, whether it's a specific problem that you've identified for your ideal customer, your industry as a whole, something that you specifically do, right? So personal branding would be a great example for my business. Type that in, see what people are talking about, see what types of questions individuals are asking. This is a really helpful tool for getting very specific language for your ideal customer. In addition to that, and one of the platforms that I'm a little bit more familiar with and comfortable on are Facebook groups. Now, I am not suggesting that you go into every Facebook group and you just start asking random questions. Exhausting, outdated. We don't need to do that anymore. Facebook has a search function, so you don't have to do all of the outward posting and choosing a cute pic for, for attention. We just get to go into the Facebook group that we know is full of our ideal customer. That is key. You don't want to be in a Facebook group that's not related to your ideal customer at all. Go into this free Facebook group, or paid if you're part of those as well, and go into the search bar. Start typing in very specific keywords to the things that you offer, your industry, your problems, and see what questions come up. This does require a little bit of digging, like, well, most of the things that I've shared with you today. I never said ideal customer work is easy. It is work after all, but it's going to pay off in the end. And start to see what questions individuals are asking, whether that's a single post or actually in the comments. I have found gold mines in Facebook groups before. In fact, I'm going to be sharing with you how I map out 90 days worth of content. That video is actually coming out next week. And one of my favorite places to find content ideas are Facebook groups. I have no desire to engage in them, but I will use the search bar and just browse around a little bit from time to time. And the last one I'm going to share with you is really helpful if you already have an audience. Now, you don't have to have a huge audience. You don't have to have thousands of email subscribers or fans on Instagram or whatever you use to classify an audience for your business, although I recommend that that's your email list. You can have 10, 15, 100 people. It doesn't matter. But this tool is really helpful for getting really specific information from people who've already said yes to your brand, and those are surveys. So every 90 days-ish, I will put together a survey for my audience and ask very specific questions like, what are you struggling with right now? Remember from beginning? What is your number one problem that you're facing? What are you looking to do within the next 90 days? All right. What would you love from me? If I could create one piece of content that would help you, what would that piece of content be? And that's incredibly helpful for getting specific feedback from your audience, making open-ended questions so you can get very specific language, and then using that to create your content moving forward. So no matter which one of these options you choose, I hope that you see that there are so much information waiting for you on the internet that you can spend a little bit of time every 90 days in your marketing or, with your branding in the beginning to sift through some of the information and get specific with your ideal customer. What I want you to really remember from this entire thing is that I focused on specific language. It's not enough to assume what our audience is saying. We really want to use the words that they are using to describe their current struggles, to describe their problem, to describe where they ultimately want to be. That is going to help you with your marketing. It's going to help you with your messaging. It's going to help you with your consistent income as a business owner. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. What do people say? Smash that like button. I'm not going to do that. Give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Let me know which of these topics you're going to use moving forward or something that really stood out to you from this video. I also want to invite you to join me for a brand new marketing class that I have put together just for you. It's all about mastering your marketing. So how can you show up, build brand awareness, build brand attraction, build brand connection, build consistent revenue without relying on social media. Check out the link below or go to brandmerry.com/marketing to sign up for this free training. Next week, I'm going to share with you how to use the information we talked about today to map out 90 days worth of content. You don't want to miss that, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Have an amazing week. Bye.